Hello and welcome to this walkthrough video of the Roberts ZEN Plus. Roberts has two types of ZEN product. We have the ZEN and the ZEN Plus. The ZEN Plus has a few more features than the ZEN. The easiest way to tell which one you have is by looking at the color of the main button. The ZEN Plus has a silver button, whereas the ZEN has a body colored button. Check the link in the description if you have a ZEN. Otherwise, stick with us and we'll take you through the ZEN Plus. When setting the unit up for the first time, make sure that you unwind the cables fully. There's two cables. There's the power cable and then there's the antenna cable. There's also two things you'll want to do. The front screen has a film on it which you'll want to peel off, and this helps the buttons work best and helps you to see the screen most clearly. And also around the back, you'll see a pull tab. Pull this out and this will engage the battery and means that after you've made any alarms or set times and you unplug it, it'll be retained. If you want to see a full handbook for the product, then pick it up and turn it around and you'll see on the back there's a QR code. To make use of this, take a phone and open the camera app and hold it up. And you will see Roberts.support light up and you'll be taken to a full handbook for the product, which takes you through every feature in a lot more detail. When you're connecting the power, make sure that you use the Roberts supplied power supply. This will ensure the best radio performance. And also make sure that the antenna cable is stretched out away from the unit as far as possible. When you first turn it on, you'll see it just shows midday. And it should automatically update the time. It gets this from the airwaves, being a DAB and FM RDS radio. So we'll go ahead and turn it on by pushing the multifunction button. And we see here it says DAB no station, and it automatically starts to scan for radio stations. It says scanning, and well, it said 0, but now it says 8. That means it's found 8 radio stations. There we go. I'm going to stop listening to the radio by pushing the button. This multifunction button here is a quick way of switching the radio on and switching the radio off. In fact, it does more than that. It switches the radio on into the last mode that you were using. So let's have a look at the DAB mode. So I'm going to play it again by pushing the button. At the moment, it's playing a radio station called Abacus. And to turn the volume down a little, we've got the volume buttons here. These buttons here are menu choose buttons, seek. And we've also got an alarm button and a mode button. So to listen to a different radio station, I'm going to push the button here and it allows me to look through the different radio stations. BBC Radio 1, push. And I'm now listening to BBC Radio 1. Now there's quite a lot of radio stations. In this case, I have about 70, and scanning through them one by one is quite a laborious process. If I want to listen to Radio 2, that's Radio 2. There's a number of presets I can use as a shortcut to get from radio station to radio station. To access this, we need to access the menu. To access the menu, I push and hold the mode button. And I can see now I've entered a menu with, it says station list. And I can go across to recall preset, save preset. I want to save a preset. And I'm going to save this one because it's Radio 2 into slot number 2. Let's find another radio station. In fact, let's go to Radio 1. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Press and hold mode. Go across to save preset. And I'm going to save it in preset 1. If I want to recall a preset, it's quite a similar process. I push and hold mode, go right once to recall preset, And then I can see radio 2 is in slot 2. It's quite a few presses, but if you've got a lot of stations and they're quite far apart, it saves a lot of time. We can easily adjust the volume, etc. Now there's lots of other modes that the ZEN Plus has. Let's have a look through them all. The next one would be FM. So FM is an analog system, so you need to tune it into each radio station. We can push briefly this button here and it'll move one step at a time, or I can push and hold this button and it will now scan to find the next radio station. That sounds like radio 2. Again, there's the same preset system, so I can push and hold, turn right to save preset, save. I'm going to save it in preset number 2. Now the way this radio functions, as I mentioned, if I want to stop the radio, I just push the multifunction button and it turns it off. And if I push the multifunction button again, it'll remember the last thing that was playing and it will carry on playing that radio station. So in this case, it's in FM mode now. Let's go ahead and look at another mode. Bluetooth. And this is now in pairing mode, at which point I would then look in my Bluetooth device list on my phone and I would see that it says ZEN Plus and I could pair with it and I could play audio. Finally, we've got the inbuilt sleep sounds. So these sleep sounds are recorded and stored on the enclosed micro SD card that's in the back of the unit. And very basically, I can choose a different sound. There's British Woodland. And I can push the button to stop it, or push the button to start it. And again, it's remembered the previous played sound and it just carries on. You can see here that the timer has now started. This is a countdown timer to sleep. So the idea is I can go to bed, I can listen to this, and I can gradually drift off to sleep. And after this timer has elapsed, the sound will gradually fade out and leave you peacefully asleep. The default countdown timer is 20 minutes for any sleep sound. I can actually adjust that though by pushing and holding this button here to enter the menu, and then I can choose the different wind down time. I can choose 20 minutes, 30, 45, up to 1 hour, and as little as 5 minutes. To choose an option, I just push this button. So just to recap, I can push the source button here. I can go to standby, which is its off mode, DAB, FM, Bluetooth, and sleep sounds. Let's go to DAB radio, and let's remember the last played station. Next, let's look at alarms. In order to set alarm, I push and hold the alarm button, and it allows me to choose which alarm I'm going to change. I'm going to choose alarm 1. And I can choose a time. I'm going to go AM, and I use left and right again, 9:49. I can choose daily, weekends, or workday once. I'm going to choose daily. And we can choose the mode. The wake sounds, those are the inbuilt sounds that you heard previously. We can use the FM to wake us up, or the DAB, or the buzzer, which is a traditional built-in alarm sound. So in this case, I'm going to go with DAB, because I want to wake up to my DAB radio station. And it also allows me to choose the radio station. So I'm going to choose last listened, which means it'll just remember whatever radio station I listen to. And then it allows me to change the volume. So I use the left and right icons to change the volume of the alarm. For the purposes of this video, I'll keep it quiet. And it says alarm 1 set. you can see the icon here with alarm 1. I can shortcut between switching the alarms on and off by just short pressing the alarm button. So that's turned the alarm off. I can choose alarm 1, alarm 2, alarm 1 and 2, or off. So we need alarm 1 on. So the alarm is now going off with my DAB radio station. If I want to snooze, I can push the main button on top. And now you can see a countdown timer here for the amount of snooze time that's remaining. If I decide I don't want to continue with the snooze and I want to just get up, all I do is I push the snooze button or multifunction button again, and that will cancel the alarm. Alternatively, when the alarm went off, I could have short pressed the alarm button, and that would also immediately switch off the alarm. And that's about all there is to the Roberts ZEN Plus. We really hope you enjoy using the product. Thank you very much for watching.